Welcome to Wrap Around the World, where we explore the incredible journey of wraparound from its origins to its global impact. Join us as we delve into personal and community stories, meeting powerful individuals, families, and communities who have been transformed by this powerful approach.
My name is Monica Pantoja, and I'm the Executive Director of the Insoro Educational Foundation, headquartered in Atlanta, serving youth nationwide aging out of foster care, ages 16 to 26.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And I'm Michael Daly. I'm the president of the Orange Duffle Bag Initiative, and we have a coaching model and a curriculum that helps young people in high school and college develop a life plan and an education plan for their success. Do you want me to tell you why the Orange Duffle Bag?
Go for it.
So the Orange Duffle Bag was the name in the creation of the initiative is based on the book My Orange Duffle Bag by Sam Bracken and Echo Garrett. And it's about Sam's life. When he was a young person, he was terribly abused and was abandoned by the age 17, but he was a great athlete. He was a big kid who could run fast, and he was very smart. But he'd been through so much, and he was living with a family in Las Vegas. And coaches at that time would take films of students and send them out to the different colleges.
Yeah.
And so his films were sent out, and Coach Bill Curry, famous Coach Bill Curry, NFL great coach, amazing. Georgia Tech is a coach at Georgia Tech at the time and sees his film and he says, I want that kid. We're going to give him a full ride scholarship. So the family he's living with gives him an orange duffel bag and he packs a few things he owns. He gets on a plane and his life changes forever once he gets college education, coaching, nutrition, love, care. And the staff didn't know he was homeless until the breaks, just like our foster youth. At times of breaks, now where do I go? What do I do? And they started to realize that he was homeless and they started putting those supports in without him knowing it. Safety nets, right? And so he was going to be an NFL candidate, but his shoulders got blown out in a game. And so we share with our young people when they develop their plan, that's great that this is where you want to go. But what's your plan B? Just like Sam, kind of think about a side plan just in case it doesn't go out the way you want it to. And so he left his college career and started working in with Franklin Covey. He said, I want to build an initiative and a foundation that's going to help people who are homeless or in foster care like me and help them develop a plan for their future. And we met just sort of serendipitously and fell in love with the passion. And I came from the business world and we've co-founded this foundation to help young people. And now we have 2,000 graduates.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
It's exciting.
Wonderful. I want to pass the mic
Sure.
before I go there. When I did my TED, not to shout out this TED Talk, but shout out my TED Talk, right? When I did my TED Talk, I went through coaching to be on TED and talk with TED, right? And it's pretty extensive. Not a lot of people know. 15 minutes of my life, it was a lot of work. But my point is there's a guy, Eric Carlin. He did his TEDx on how to get accepted into colleges and how to don't worry about your SAT, AC. And he said those things matter. But he really talked about how do you show your passion? How do you show what you, and anyway, it was really powerful. And you just took me back there about it, because what he does is he coaches youth to get ready to get into the schools that they want to go to. But he doesn't do the ACD, SAT prep. He does what are you interested in? How are you going to stand out? What's your passion about? What are your strengths? Mm-hmm. What's your culture? What's your story?
And what's your bold vision?
What's your vision?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pass the mic. Do you want to add to anything?
Absolutely.
Please.
I mean, the Insoro Educational Foundation, founded in 2005, ideally was designed to help young people get to and through college with a scholarship. What we've discovered about 12 years later was that's not enough. You have to have a vision beyond circumstance, an educational roadmap, somebody you trust, and you absolutely have to have a coach and a mentor to help you to and through the journey. And the Insoro Educational Foundation really is the shepherd that takes you from where you are, wherever you are in your academic journey, ages 16 to 26, regardless of your post-secondary pathway.
I'm like, reciprocity here?
Right, retrofit. Regardless of your whether you're a freshman at a technical college or you are pursuing a law school degree, we want to help young people become the best versions of themselves and not just achieve post-secondary credentials, but we want to help them achieve independence, right? And so a college degree becomes a piece of paper unless you have a pathway to a job, gainful employment, not working in the gig economy. Nothing wrong with the gig economy. Sure. But if you've graduated with a 4.0 from Valdosta State, there's no reason why you should have to drive for Uber solely to. So having a real pathway to um, feel, careers in your trade and in your employment, yes, gainful employment, and ultimately.
Well, and I heard something said, and I don't know whether it was intentional or related, but put relationships.
Yep.
They
That's
have
essential.
long term, because maybe you do graduate from college, but then you experience a breakup or a relationship or death or like, and it's like you said, I got this paper and I got this credential and this technical knowledge,
But
but
then what?
I need a relationship with somebody I can call and say, hey, mentor, coach, like, hey, tell me what to do.
And part of it is, a lot of them, you're smart enough to get to college, but if you've been through the foster care system, you're oftentimes in college again in this whole new landscape of trying to figure it out on your own.
Correct.
Trying to, and they don't, and even though there are resources for them, there's also that sense of not wanting to ask for help,
Sure.
or feeling like, okay, if I do, somehow I'm not as confident as I thought I was. And part of the coaching and the support from Insoro is to say, hey, you're not alone. Everyone who goes to college, most low-income kids, like I was, are navigating on their own. It's not just foster care or homelessness. It's just not having the resources and the support that you need in order to really be successful in college. And that's what I love about our partnership together.
True. It's in the absence of social capital and stable
Right.
families. What do you do to have at the end of the day, you didn't do well on a test. I'm not going to implode. I'm going to talk through and work through and have the skills, both life skills and the social emotional intelligence to assimilate in a college environment, but also in work. And so our organization doesn't just serve the student who's going to college, but it also serves a young person who's maybe not going to college but wants to get a job. And so we reverse engineer that post-secondary credential by stabilizing their housing and their food security and transportation, expose them to career pathways through technical certifications and employers, and that really is changing the game.
And I love that because I think what I'm hearing is that you're seeing the strength that people have that they're bringing to the table and helping them to see that too. Because I think so many times people get what they're hearing is that there's only one way and one path to success and to be seen and to be valued, and that you're helping them create their own and that they have it there. And that is, I think, imperative for the folks that we work with, because I think I remember school, and certainly it was difficult, but I could not have imagined, now doing this work, having come and had some of the trauma and the things that have happened. Jay talks about his story, and I can't imagine if I had met him in college, what that, I would have loved that, but I would have been, I just couldn't imagine him, us being together and what that could have been for him.
One of the key things in coaching in part of our curriculum is, and it helped me really understand that everyone has a story. The one thing is being in the system of care or homelessness or low income or even just an adult that's had middle class life. But the thing that we share is everyone's gone through some sort of trauma. Right?
Epidemiology.
Has struggled with something. And being able to share your story is so empowering. So the very first part of our curriculum is, okay, where have you been? What have you struggled with? What is your story? And then where are you today? And where do you want to go? And then the coaching is really in order to help you get to where you want to get, is that we have to better understand your story, but also you need to be able to be free with communicating your story, because it can help someone else.
Sure.
And that's part of that resolve and that putting meaning and really self-esteem. And it's wonderful to watch, because so many folks who have struggled with quite a bit, they bury it. And once they hear others tell their story, it's very much an awakening, and it's a sense of peace. And then there's forgiveness, and then there's the opportunity to really talk about, is your past holding you from achieving your future? And so if you feel it is, then how do we deal with that first? How do we help you resolve so that you can be free to fly to your future? And that's part of coaching too, which I love.
They call it, some of that's strategic sharing,
Right.
right? And or conscious use of self, or there's a lot of different languages.
Interesting.
But I think what's important to discover, though, is you got to help people heal so they can share their scars without hurting others, right? Like in their own process. So it's like, and you only get there through mentorships and understanding, and but over time they find their healing. They can share their medicine with others. Right. But there's a part of it, right, that there have to be they gotta, what's the word when you bake something, like you gotta season it. right? You got to season it before it's ready to go. Thank you. What else you want to say, Tracy? What do we want to know?
Well, I'm really grateful to hear, for us in wraparound, these surrogate supports that are being developed for our young folks, and things that are lifelong lessons. That story that you told just makes my heart smile, because so many times when we talk about the work that we do, those aren't the stories that we get to hear, right? Those aren't the stories that we expect to hear. And for me, having been an impacted person with my kiddos, that is the story that I expect, because I know that it can be done. And so I'm appreciating the work that you all are doing. And I think, bringing those supports together for our kiddos, we can continue to have and share stories like that, because they're out there, and this is what we want to expect from us.
It's community equity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you two quick narratives. One, Mecca.
I
And
was just going to ask you to speak about her.
Mecca is extraordinary. Mecca, we met her in December of last year at our Atlanta Technical College InSoro Works launch, our workforce development. Unhoused, unemployed, and unenrolled. Really knew what she wanted, but didn't have a clue on how to get from where she was to where she wanted to be. Today, she is a college student at Atlanta Technical College pursuing a certification in cosmetology. She is working part-time, and she received the HUD voucher through our new housing partnerships, our new housing initiative that is creating an ecosystem of individuals and agencies to help young people achieve that wonderful HUD voucher, that piece of legislation that was passed in 2019 for our youth in care.
And she has a coach.
And she's got an extraordinary coach and who is helping her understand, okay, now I know what the traumas I've sort of come to, these invisible albatross that she's carried. How does she work through that and unpack the things that she needs to unpack so that she can lean into the learnings and achieve the financial literacy that she needs to manage the money that she's making and prepare to own her own salon.
Let's go.
Which is her goal.
Well,
In 6
so
months.
one of the things I want to plug in here is access to economic and concrete supports
Right.
in time of needs.
Correct.
So we're not just talking about coaching and
Right.
literacy programming and how to survive in school, but it's like, hey, my car broke down and I need tires. Is that kind of stuff too?
Yep.
Absolutely. That will cause a young person to derail. If
Correct.
there is not a
Any of
safety
us
net.
to derail,
Right,
really.
right,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
But certainly for a
Welcome
kiddo,
to my life.
right?
Right,
Because this is real life now.
Right,
This
right.
is not supposed to happen. This is real life.
I call my tire issue curb encounters. Different conversation. But for a young person, that is a moment of, oh my God, my world's going to implode. I can't afford to get my tire
And
replaced.
no one to call.
And no one to
I can't call my baby.
Absolutely.
Speaking of no one to call, one of our alums said something to me that was disquieting. His name is Gio, and he said, "What do you do when you don't have an emergency contact?" You know what I hate filling out on an application is an emergency contact. I don't have one. I didn't have one until I met InSoro. And that really brought it home, knowing that your organization is the emergency contact.
Yep.
Who do we trust?
Yeah.
Who can we go to in a time of need that's going to
Yeah.
be there in the clutch? Where's that safety net?
Right.
And for our young people who are so promising and they have so much potential, Raheem, I'll give you another quick anecdote. Raheem,
Open mic.
he is a successful senior auditor at Markham in New York City,
Oh, wow.
earning 6 figures. But in 2018, he was a senior at Savannah State University. His world was about to implode. One of our scholars, his brother had died in prison. He was the middle of 2 brothers. His brother just died in prison. He did not feel he was worthy enough to graduate because he couldn't save his brother. And we, again, came in, supported him, gave him what he needed at the time to remind him that he is worthy. He is enough. With the coaching and the knowledge that I do have what it takes to succeed, and maybe I could not and should not be responsible for saving my brother, but I can save my son. I can save my daughter. I can change the legacy of my family. Today, he's earning 6 figures at Markham in New York, senior auditor.
And he's just getting started.
Absolutely not, and just getting started.
If I wanted to add, we just got a call from a young lady who's in our very, very first pilot coaching class in foster care. Now a mom of 2 young people, 2 kids, I should say, and still going to college. But she said, and she just called last week, she's doing an internship project with us. And she just said, I just want you to know that I've always known from when I graduated Orange Duffel Bag that if I call you, you're going to pick up the phone. And that sense of just having someone that you can reach out to is so powerful that I just wanted to reinforce that, because all of the other agencies that are out there, sometimes you're 9 to 5, you're just, if you have an outlet for a young person to just know they can depend on you, makes all the difference.
Well, I don't got to be the superhero because I can utilize people that are really great in everything they do. You do the coaching part. You do the literacy, the economic concretes. You're gonna do the spiritual part, and now we create the village.
Right.
Last week we were at a workshop, and there was an impacted person who had done how much did Scotty? He was 20
20
21,
years.
24 years in prison,
Years.
right? Fed like serious stuff, right? And he's now a community mentor, right? They don't like to be called OGs; they want to be called community mentors, right? Because anyway, long story short, last week he was talking about the youth that he mentors. He wouldn't understand. He wouldn't pass a background check, right? He would be all the no's, right? But who do the youth call from juvenile detention facility or prisons? These kids don't call their mom, they don't call their dad, they don't call their uncle. They call him, and they say, "I don't know what to do. I want to get out of this life. I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'll even survive." And he talked about how humbling that is. Answer that call, right? And who do the kids call? The ones that they feel they can trust. And anyway, sorry, I went there.
I'd like to add to that is I'm thrilled to hear that, because we just did our first pilot with DJJ in Georgia.
Let's go.
And so would love to meet him.
Yes.
Would love to get his expertise.
Yes.
And would love to help his young people in any way. Our coaching curriculum and model is really about partnerships.
Right.
So if the partnership with DJJ here in Florida, or wherever he may be, we'd love to work with him. We also have a coaching certification program where it's a kind of a train the trainer model.
Wonderful.
So we're teaching the tenets of coaching. The curriculum is very powerful. It works. And if we can work that way, just to get the curriculum and the model to the kids is so important. And really leveraging the talents of those who are already working in the child
Correct.
welfare field. You know, they've got incredible expertise that the coaching, the curriculum,
Or
the
in the
certification
community. People
allows them to just move with it. So if folks want to learn more about that, please.
Yeah, we'll shout it out.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll drop the website and all that kind of stuff.
To your comment about survival mode, one of the things that we speak a lot about at Insoro, and by the way, Insoro is a Ghanaian term. It's a Ghanaian.
Okay.
It's a derivation. Derivation is Ghanaian, but it's an abbreviation Insorama, which means children of the heavens. And we believe that at Insoro, our approach is, we are responsible for these children of the heavens. And so, and we spell our name always with a lowercase n, by the way. Our founder by design, his name is Daryl Mays, very humble guy from Beaumont, Texas. Really, the lowercase n is to serve as a reminder that you have to remain humble. The work we do is about the youth we serve, not about the organization, not about the leaders, but about the work, the mission, and the kids. And how do you move the kids? How do you move from survival mode to pathways to success? So much of it is having a coach in place to help you with the life skills, understanding that there has to be a safety net, there has to be a vision beyond circumstance, so that agency knowing that I can, and then to your very astute point, you've got to be there in the clutch when things go south, and be ready to bring forward the resources they need to achieve.
And walk along with them, not correcting it for them.
No, we are
walking along with them.
And so shepherds.
And something you said, and I'll just add it to the deck. It's not about you, the healer.
It's not.
It can't be. Understand. And if you are, then maybe you're not the best for this work.
Exactly.
We got other jobs for you.
Right.
Because this is really about them, which really calls like something bigger than you.
Right.
We always say with the curriculum, they always say, what's this coaching going to be about? And we always say, it's going to be about you. It's all about you. You don't even know yet. You don't even know yourself and how incredible you are, but you'll discover that. And you may think you're incredible, but you're even better than you think you are, because it really is all about that young person.
I was help building a program a while back, and with a very special person to me, and he didn't understand why I wanted the letter to be lowercase, and we argued and argued and argued about it, and in the end we went lowercase, and you just gave me language that I'm going to share with him, and I think my brother-in-law Alan will finally understand.
Yeah.
Got to keep your head down doing the work, and when we lift up, we lift each all boats rise. Right?
Yeah.
But it's about our young people.
Don't forget, you're just one of us too.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
well
Right.
said.
Thank you.
Gosh, yeah. So I think that this this podcast really ended up being about natural supports and surrogate supports and integration of community, even lived expertise, right? Of this experience. And what do you think, Tracy? What else is the podcast about? And let's close it down.
Well, I just think it's about that collaboration, right? And ensuring that our young people are seeing the superheroes that they can be for themselves, and that with that coaching, right, and the right supports, they see the vision that they have for themselves that they've created. And so I love that, and it's beautiful. And I love Orange Duffle Bag, the story. And you were here at one of our conferences before that we've had, and we love it every time you come.
Thank you.
We're grateful for that. Yeah.
We're honored.
And I'm so excited to meet you and hear the amazing things that you guys are doing in that collaboration. And yeah, we see the kids. We expect that they can be great because they can. We're going to help them see that.
No one succeeds alone, right? And
No
so
way.
for organizations to deliver on the mission and optimally serve, aligned vision of partners is key, and in imparting that knowledge and know-how with the youth we serve is really what it's all about. So it's a pleasure and a privilege to be here.
High fives all around.
Let's
All
go.
around.
Yeah, and one sprinkle sauce is I hear individualized at the core of all this, right? Like individualized in the coaching, individualized in the what you need, and you don't find that in a lot of places, right? Like a lot of places are strictly prohibited to a protocol and so maybe this is a cool innovation that we need to make sure maybe we'll bring you back and we'll
Please.
talk some
Love
more
that.
and maybe
Would
bring a
love that.
friend.
Yeah.
We would love that.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
partnering too. So just, happy to work with anyone out there who is working with young people. And if we can add value, please give us a call.
We're looking for a
Absolutely.
cool outro slogan for our podcast. We don't have one yet. Any ideas?
Oh, goodness.
Wrap out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wrap-
Coming together to rap about you.
Hey!
I like that. All right, Mike. That's great.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much again. We appreciate it.
My God, thank you
Yes,
so
thank you.
much.
So nice.
That was wonderful.
Thanks,
Wow.
Mike.
Take care.
Okay.